If you've got a bucket of wood ash sitting by the fireplace and a shelf of store-bought fertilizers in the shed, it can be hard to know which one will actually grow stronger plants and better harvests. In this video, I'm going to compare wood ash and store-bought potash side by side, so you know exactly which one to use, when to use it, and how to avoid damaging your soil. By the end, you'll have a clear, simple plan for giving your garden all the potassium it needs for sturdier stems, more flowers, and bigger, cleaner harvests, without wasting money or hurting your soil life. Potassium is one of the big three nutrients your plants need, right alongside nitrogen and phosphorus. It helps plants move water efficiently, build strong cell walls, resist disease, and handle heat, cold, and drought. When potassium is low, stems get weak and floppy, leaf edges turn yellow or brown and look scorched, and flowers or fruits stay small or simply drop off. When potassium is in good supply, plants stand upright, leaves stay firm and deep green, blossoms hold longer, and your fruit and vegetable harvests are fuller and more reliable. Wood ash is what's left after you burn clean, untreated firewood down to a fine powder. Most of the carbon goes up in smoke, and what remains is a mix of minerals the tree pulled out of the soil during its lifetime. Typically, wood ash contains a modest amount of potassium, a bit of phosphorus, plenty of calcium, and small amounts of magnesium and other trace elements. In fertilizer terms, wood ash is usually around 0.13 for NPK, so it won't supply nitrogen, but it can add useful potassium and calcium, and gently round out your soil's mineral profile over time. Not all ash is created equal though. Hardwoods usually produce ash with more minerals than softwoods, and the hotter and more completely the wood burns, the cleaner the ash tends to be. Ash from painted, treated, or glued wood should never go in the garden, because it can carry toxic residues you don't want in your soil or food. So for gardening, we're only talking about ash from clean untreated firewood or plain uncoated charcoal. When gardeners talk about potash from the store, they usually mean refined potassium fertilizers like sulfate of potash or muriate of potash. These products are mined and processed, so they contain a very high, very consistent percentage of potassium. A small measure of granules can deliver a strong, predictable dose of potassium to your soil without adding much else. Because the nutrient content is printed right on the bag, it's easy to follow the directions and know exactly how much potassium you're applying per square foot or per plant. Unlike wood ash, store-bought potash doesn't bring along big doses of calcium or a strong liming effect on your soil. Most forms, especially sulfate of potash, have only a mild influence on soil pH, so they're mainly about delivering potassium without shifting the acidity too much. For gardeners who want tight control over their feeding program, or who are correcting a specific deficiency, that kind of predictability is very helpful. In terms of raw strength, wood ash is a gentle, lower concentration source of potassium, while store-bought potash is much stronger and more concentrated. With wood ash, a light sprinkling across a garden bed will add potassium and minerals, but you won't know the exact dose, and the amount can vary from batch to batch. That's usually fine in large established beds where soil volume is high and the biology can buffer those variations. With commercial potash, a tablespoon or cup applied according to the label is much more like a prescription dose. You know how much you're giving, and the effect on potassium levels is quicker and more exact. Wood ash is naturally alkaline and behaves a lot like a mild garden lime when you add it to the soil. In acidic soils, a small amount of ash can nudge the pH upward toward neutral, which many vegetables prefer. But spread it too thickly, especially near plant roots, and you can overshoot, pushing the pH too high and making important nutrients harder for plants to absorb. This is one of the main reasons gardeners get into trouble with ash. It's easy to think, if a little is good, more is better. And that simply isn't true. Most store-bought potash products, especially sulfate of potash, have a much smaller impact on soil pH when used correctly. They can move potassium levels up without pushing the soil toward strongly alkaline conditions. That makes commercial potash a good choice when your soil pH is already in a healthy range and you don't want to disturb that balance, but you still need to correct a potassium shortage. From a cost standpoint, wood ash is hard to beat if you already heat with clean firewood. You're turning a waste product into a resource and keeping it out of the trash, which fits perfectly with an organic, low-waste gardening mindset. There's no bag to buy, no shipping cost, and no plastic packaging to throw away. The price you pay is the extra attention you need to give to how much you apply and where your ash came from. Commercial potash, on the other hand, does cost money up front, but a single bag can last for several seasons because it's so concentrated. If you have a larger garden, fruit trees, or you're managing several beds, that bag can stretch a long way when used at recommended rates. For some gardeners, that trade, paying a bit more for convenience and precision, is worth it, especially if they don't burn wood and don't have ash available. Wood ash tends to shine in larger raised beds and in-ground gardens where you can spread it thin and mix it well. In these bigger volumes of soil, a light dusting of ash raked into the top few inches acts as both a potassium source and a gentle liming material, especially helpful if your native soil runs acidic. Over time, it can help maintain a more balanced mineral profile while avoiding sharp spikes in concentration. The key is moderation. Think of ash as a seasoning, not the main course. In containers and smaller, tightly packed beds, wood ash requires much more caution because the soil volume is limited. A little ash goes a long way in a pot, and it's easy to overdo it and stress the roots with high alkalinity or concentrated salts. If you want to use wood ash in containers, it's safer to blend a very small amount into your potting mix or compost ahead of time instead of sprinkling it directly on the surface around established plants. That way, the minerals are more evenly distributed and less likely to burn roots. For containers and smaller raised beds that are already planted, store-bought potash often makes more sense. You can dissolve a measured amount in water or apply granules at the labeled rate, and give plants a targeted potassium boost without dramatically shifting the pH. That kind of control is especially helpful for tomatoes, peppers, and flowering crops in pots where you're trying to correct poor flowering or weak growth mid-season. Here's the honest verdict. Neither wood ash nor store-bought potash is better in every situation. They are different tools for different jobs. If you have access to clean firewood ash, slightly acidic soil, and larger beds or in-ground rows, wood ash can be a wonderful free amendment that supplies moderate potassium, valuable calcium, and trace minerals while gently raising pH. Used lightly and consistently, it supports long-term soil health. But if you're working with smaller spaces, a mix of containers and raised beds, or you need to correct a clear potassium deficiency quickly and precisely, store-bought potash is the more reliable choice. It lets you raise potassium without guessing and without dramatically affecting soil pH. To recap, wood ash is your free, gentle, mineral-rich amendment. Moderate potassium, plenty of calcium, a pH-lifting effect, and best used in thin, carefully measured amounts, especially in larger beds and more acidic soils. Store-bought potash is your precise, concentrated potassium booster. Little impact on pH, easy to measure, and ideal when you want tight control, particularly in containers and smaller spaces. When you match the right material to the right situation, both can help you grow stronger plants, healthier soil, and bigger harvests without resorting to harsh synthetic shortcuts. If this breakdown helped you feel more confident about feeding your plants potassium, go ahead and tap that like button so more gardeners can find it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more practical step-by-step experiments that turn simple materials into healthier soil and safer food. And in the comments, let me know whether you're using wood ash, store-bought potash, or both this season, and what crops you'd like to see me test them on side by side in a future video.